What's crack-a-lack, it's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know so, and this is the Waiver Wire Pickup Show. Yo! What an intro. Am I right? I'm a little sick. Got the sniffles, I got the tummy tantrums. I ain't feeling too hot, but I still gotta come and bring some content to you because we're in this together, man. We're in this fantasy football thing together. And if you want to be in it together, man, go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. It's much appreciated, much obliged, and go ahead and hit that like button. It helps me get discovered. It really helps me out. So, do a bro a favor and help me out, man. But, man, waiver wires, man, there ain't a lot on there. I mean, yeah, we're going into week, 12? Week 11? So, like, yeah, week 11, man, there ain't much. We're really, I've said this last couple of weeks, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel. These are really guys that are just kind of filling in for some bye weeks. But nonetheless, let's see what we can do. We're going to start at the quarterback position. I got Baker Mayfield. He's only owned in 45.6% of leagues, at least as far as ESPN goes. And he looked decent last game. He's got a tough matchup this week against Pittsburgh. But, I mean, if you really are in dire straits for a for a quarterback, he's not a bad option. Let's see who's on bye this week, because I looked at that yesterday and I have forgot since then. What can I say? Come on, ESPN, do it for me. So we got, that's this week's or this last week's. But I mean, honestly, you can do with worse options than Baker. I mean, he's got the talent. He's just been getting destroyed. And we got Aaron Rodgers, no Ryan Tannehill. I'm gonna get to him in a minute. And then no Russell Wilson. So you might need a guy to come and fill in this week. So he's a good option. A better option, I think, is Derek Carr. He's only owned in 36.6% of leagues. He's got a great matchup this week against Cincinnati. They're 30th against opposing quarterbacks. So that's good. And this one is for the future. Ryan Tannehill, like I said, he's on bye this week. But if you are hurting at the quarterback position, he's not a bad option, even to have just for a matchup. The guy, okay, for those week 4 through 16, he has Houston, New Orleans, Cincinnati. Those are all great matchups for Tannehill. So if you need someone going forward or someone you might want to like sub instead of one of your quarterbacks who might have a tough matchup, Tannehill might be your guy. And then at running back, we got a slew of guys that interest me. Brian Hill. If Devontae Freeman ain't healthy, Hill might be a good option. He's available in almost all leagues. He's got a great matchup this week against Carolina. They're 29th against opposing running backs. So that may be a guy you want to like fill in for one of your guys that's not here, like Aaron Jones or maybe Chris Carson, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's been a monster. Even Saquon. This is a rough week for running backs. Jeez Louise. But Kalen Ballage, right? He's a starter. That's literally why I have him here. Buffalo, he's got a really good matchup, but he's a starter. He's seeing all the carries. Do with that as you must. J.D. McKissick, the dude's owned only in 16% of leagues. He's got a decent matchup against Dallas. They're 18th against opposing running backs, but with so many with Detroit's backfield going down to injury, Trey Carson, Ty Johnson, he's on concussion protocol right now. I mean, no carry on. Oh, miss you, carry on. But he out-carried Paul Perkins, so there's a little upside to that. And then I got Darius Skice on here because this is a guy you want to pick up and wait, because what Washington's been doing, especially now that they have Dwayne Haskins, they're going to try to establish the run. And this guy comes in and takes those carries away from AP. You might have a decent starting running back, maybe a running back 2, running back 3 on your hands. So that's a guy maybe to look for. And then Frank Gore, he's just got a really good matchup this week against Miami. They'll probably utilize both him and Singletary a ton, so that's not a bad option if you need it. And then on to wide receiver, where it's a little more dire. Excuse me for the sneeze real quick. Oh, that rattled me. But Randall Cobb, right? This one I don't like as much. He's probably one I would steer clear for, but it's not a bad option. We've seen Dallas, they haven't really been able to get the run game going the last couple of weeks. They should be able this week. Detroit's not great against the run, but they are also 24th against the pass. The only problem is he'll probably be facing off against Justin Coleman, who has been stellar this year. So he probably won't be my top target to go after. And then Zach Pascal, I know he had a bad week, but Brissett is back at quarterback. A lot of that was on Hoyer. Hoyer looked pretty bad. He's got an okay matchup against Jacksonville, so maybe that's a good option. Demaryius Thomas, I know a name that we haven't heard from in a few years. He's not owned in a lot of leagues. He's got a decent matchup against Washington. They're 16th against opposing wide receivers, and Donald's going to this guy instead of Robbie Anderson, the bust known as Robbie Anderson, man. But my guy who I would be targeting heavily is Teddy Ginn Jr. He's owned in less than 10% of leagues. The guy's got a great matchup this week against Tampa Bay. I mean, dude, they're 32nd against opposing receivers. It's a great matchup. And he won't face off against Jamil Dean, who's done very well this year for the Bucs, actually. He'll probably be facing off against Michael Thomas, which allows Teddy Ginn to go in there and maybe do some damage onto the tight end position. We're going to talk Tyler Eifert. I know, man, Tyler Eifert. But it's Ryan Finley now at quarterback. Quarterbacks tend to, especially rookie or young quarterbacks or backups, they tend to target their running backs and their tight ends a lot. Those guys see an uptick in usage, or at least volume, when a rookie or backup quarterback comes in. I like it. He had 9 points last week, and then he's got a good matchup against Oakland. So if you really need to fill in for somebody, I don't think there's no real big tight ends on a bye this week. You can say Evan Ingram, but he might be out anyway, so might be a good pickup. Kyle Rudolph had himself a game this past weekend. He'll continue to do that as long as Adam Thielen is out. He's not owned in many leagues, and I mean, tight end is a tough position to get right in fantasy football. So Kyle Rudolph might be a really, really good pickup for you. But that's it for the video. Go ahead and do the YouTube thing. I'm going to go get well, but until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.